Before you buy your dream home in California, stop and listen. Because behind that beautiful kitchen, that perfect curb appeal, and that California dream facade, there could be $100,000 worth of hidden problems waiting to destroy your savings. I've spent years inside this market, watching thousands of deals unfold.
Be very much more correct than you even thought.
Right.
When you look at what's happened to home prices.
Right.
And I can tell you, there are 20 critical mistakes buyers make in California. Mistakes that don't just cost money, they cost peace of mind. From plumbing that fails without warning, to foundations ready to collapse, to hidden legal time bombs buried in the title. These are the pitfalls that can turn your dream home into a financial nightmare. Whether you're an investor or a first-time buyer, this video is your roadmap. Take notes, because avoiding these mistakes could save you your home, your wallet, and your sanity. Ready? Let's get started. Mistake number 1, ignoring old and problematic plumbing. This is not a question of if it will fail, but when it will fail. Galvanized piping. Never buy a house with galvanized piping. This was commonly used years ago, but the lifespan has more or less expired. It leaks, it rusts, and you will see that rust in your water. Your toilet tank will be red and nasty. This erosion means you are coming due for replacement. Furthermore, insurance companies may have a conniption, a fit when they see it, making it difficult to secure a policy. Iron piping. If you see iron pipes, especially for sewer lines in very old houses, 1950s and below, steer clear. If the house is on a concrete slab, you are most likely going to have to chisel up that concrete to redo the piping. This is an incredibly disruptive and massively expensive repair. If you find it, negotiate heavily for replacement or simply stay away.
The plumber with the bad news about polybutylene.
He's like, oh my gosh, he's like, you need to repipe your entire house.
Polybutylene piping. Many Californians call this polyb. This gray or bluish-gray piping was used from 1978 to 1995. All 3 iterations of poly piping have failed, resulting in class action lawsuits. Failure often occurs at the brass fittings or elbows. The cost of replacing polyb, even for a small 2-bathroom house, starts at $5,000 to $6,000 and multiplies quickly with more bathrooms and sinks. This is a hidden financial danger that can devastate your bank account without warning. Mistake number 2, accepting old or aluminum wiring. Old wiring is an insurance and fire hazard. Knob and tube or paper wiring. Back in the day, some old homes used paper-insulated or knob and tube wiring. If the wiring was replaced in the 1950s or prior to 1960, the insulation may have a lifespan of only about 70 years, and it's not up to the latest standards. If you see this, run. Aluminum wiring. This is another major insurance nightmare. Very few companies will even insure a home with aluminum wiring, even if tap connectors or aluminic con connectors have been added. Rewiring an entire house is a huge expense. Factor in $10,000 to $20,000 for the work. If you are a first-time buyer on a tight budget, this mandatory cost will quickly turn your new home into a financial burden. Now, before we move on, this next one can literally bring your whole house down, and most buyers don't even see it until it's too late. Mistake number 3, buying a house with foundation issues. Foundation problems can literally bring your whole house down. Signs of trouble. Look for uneven floors, cracks in the floor or slab, and cracks in the walls, especially cracks that go in all different directions and are not straight hairline cracks. Unlevel floors are a big sign of trouble underneath the house. California-specific causes. San Jose homes built between the 1950s and 1970s are aging. In older areas like Willow Glen, Japantown, or Rose Garden, 1920s to 1940s, up to 40% of pre-1960s homes have significant foundation issues that must be addressed. Local issues include expansive clay soil, which is very common in the area, and high water tables, which stress the foundation over decades. The true cost. Foundation repairs start at about $15,000 for a minor case. However, severe cases involving major structural shifting or long horizontal cracks can range from $30,000 to $150,000 plus. In one case, the repair estimate started at $175,000, required the home to be lifted and temporarily supported, and the process would take 3 to 4 months to complete. What seemed like minor cosmetic issues were actually symptoms of a catastrophic problem. Mistake number 4, tolerating bad windows. Bad windows lead to high AC bills and big insurance problems. Inefficiency and cost. Old single-pane glass windows are inefficient, costing you constantly on energy bills. You could spend easily $20,000 to $30,000 to replace all the windows in a house. Replacing them is worth it. It's quieter, more efficient, and works better, but it is not cheap. Insurance requirements. If you are within 2 miles of the Gulf Coast, a bayou, or the ocean, insurance companies will require impact-rated windows. They will eat you up on premiums or make you replace them. You will be forced to replace them sooner rather than later. Okay, I know you've heard location, 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 but roofs? That's where your money literally evaporates if you ignore this next point. Mistake number 5, overlooking flat roofs. Insurance nightmare. Stay away from flat roofs. Flat roofs have a shorter lifespan than A-frame roofs and are known to cause problems down the road. They are an insurance nightmare, especially if you live in a part of the country where it rains a lot. Water damage risk. If the house settles, one spot on the minimal pitch roof can hold water, and sooner or later, that water will find its way through the ceiling and sheetrock. The cost to replace a roof, depending on the square footage, can range anywhere from $15,000, $20,000, up to $50,000. Mistake number 6, having less than 2 bathrooms. Resale killer. In the current market, a family buying a home is expecting at least 2 bathrooms. A 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom, 3-1, or 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom, 2/1 home is becoming very hard to sell. Diminished buyer pool. You might get these homes cheaper, but the 1-bath configuration will dramatically limit your pool of buyers on resale. Think about adding a bathroom only if you are an investor, as this can add some serious equity. For the average buyer, purchasing an awkward layout with an odd number of bathrooms should be avoided. Here's something even seasoned investors forget. Everything inside a home ages together, and when those systems fail, they fail all at once. Mistake number 7, original major components that are too old. The 10 to 20-year rule. Homes that are 10 to 20 years old should have had all major components typically replaced. If everything, the heating and air, the roof, the water heater, is original to the home, you are heading for a major expense. Component costs. Roof. Replacement can be $15,000 to $50,000. HVAC, a single system, is $8,000 to $12,000. A 2 or 3 system house could cost $24,000 to $36,000. Electrical panel. Electrical issues, including buzzing in the panel, need professional inspection and can be expensive to repair. Water heater. While less expensive, around $2,000 to $3,000, it's another sign of aging systems. If these items are working now, the home inspector will still tell you they are at their end of life. This should be a red flag for you to prepare for immediate replacement costs. Mistake number 8, buying too close to busy Hunter main roads. Location is everything in real estate. Noise and safety. Properties that back to a major street, a freeway, or are close to a railroad track push buyers away. Busy streets mean lots of traffic, lots of noise, and sometimes buses traveling through. Families often feel unsafe and their kids cannot play in the front yard. Road noise from interstates, like the 285 in Atlanta, is constant and annoying. Resale value impact. Location issues like this drastically bring down the pool of potential buyers. If you had 100 potential buyers for a house in a neighborhood, backing it to a street or freeway might cost you a large majority of those people just because they don't want to deal with the noise situation. Resale will be lower and slower. Infrastructure issues. Even doing rehab or putting up a fence can be hard because workers' trucks may block traffic, leading to extra expense and work. Mistake number 9, homes in high fire risk zones. The insurance crisis. Did you know that over 25% of San Jose homes are in high or very high fire zones? Some homes have recently lost insurance because carriers are withdrawing from these high-risk areas. Exorbitant insurance costs. Premiums can be 3 to 5 times higher in fire-prone areas. If you budget $200 a month for hazard insurance in a fire zone, you could see 4 times that amount, greatly affecting your affordability. Policies under the California Fair Plan can cost $5,000 to $20,000 annually. Additional compliance costs. Properties in these zones have special fire hardening requirements. This includes special tempered glass for windows and specific roof materials. These special requirements can add $20,000 or more to the cost just to secure an insurance policy. And sometimes the policy requires you to complete the work before closing escrow. This next one sounds harmless, until your dream home turns into an indoor swimming pool. Let's talk flood zones. Mistake number 10, overlooking flood zone properties. Hidden fees. Never buy a property in a flood zone. They charge you more for insurance, property tax, and all sorts of other things. Even renters are hesitant to move into these areas because they worry about their personal property being damaged. The 500-year flood. Don't rely on the homeowner telling you the house has never flooded. The risk is still there. Even if you are in a 100-year or 500-year floodplain, there is still a risk that the house is going to flood due to the crazy storms we have been having. This can result in mass flooding, red-tagged homes, and insurance often doesn't cover that damage, leaving the owner to pay out of pocket. Mistake number 11, homes too close to school district borders. Rezoning risk. School boundaries are reviewed about every 3 to 5 years depending on enrollment. Properties within a few blocks of the district line are most vulnerable. If the line shifts and your home is rezoned to a less desirable school, home values could drop 5% to 15%. There are typically no grandfathering provisions for existing residences. Traffic and noise. Being right next to a school means massive car lines in the morning and afternoon. People who don't have kids in that school don't want to deal with that traffic. Homeowners often have to put cones out to prevent others from parking in front of their properties. Mistake number 12, having unappealing neighbors. Resale detriment. You can't pick your neighbors after you close, but you can do due diligence beforehand. If the house is gorgeous, but the neighbor's house is in an advanced stage of disrepair, the lawn is overgrown, or there is trash everywhere, the next buyer will see that and issue a hard pass. That neighbor will probably outlive you, and it will negatively impact your resale. Mistake number 13, hidden issues in decks or balconies. The SB 326 regulation. This is a huge creeping issue in California. The state mandates regular inspection of structural wood elements like balconies and decks in common interest developments, condos, townhomes. Financial impact. Older HOAs often have lower reserves due to increased costs. If a large number of repairs are needed following a 326 inspection, you can expect a special assessment. These special assessments can range from $4,000 up to over $20,000. This can impact a lender's ability to finance the property and certainly affects your negotiation power. Mistake number 14, rushing and waiving inspections, buying as is. The cost of confidence. Never waive all your contingencies. Even if you have to waive a financing contingency, do not skip a home inspection. The market might be hot and demand heavy, but do not buy a home at the sake of buying something that needs a lot of work just to win the bid. The bucket story. Buyers who waived the inspection on a property found leaks coming through the ceiling after a big rain. They went into the attic and realized the previous owner had been putting buckets up there to catch water. This costly and crazy issue could have been easily avoided by simply getting a home inspection. As is does not mean no inspection. Even if a seller insists on selling as is, you can often still inspect the property for your own well-being. As is often just means the seller doesn't intend to fix anything. Mistake number 15, purchasing unpermitted additions. The prevalence and the risk. Over 30% of San Jose homes have some form of unpermitted work. Homeowners skip permits because the process takes too long, 6 months or more, and the fees are extremely high. The liabilities. The risks are immense. Banks may refuse to finance the home. The city can require removal or demolition of the unpermitted additions. Insurance may not cover damage in unpermitted areas. Retroactive permits can cost 2 to 3 times more than regular permits. In one instance, a client found an additional 300 square feet, but the electrical wasn't up to code and the foundation didn't meet current standards. The cost to bring it up to code was over $75,000. Mistake number 16, buying homes flipped too quickly by LLCs. The lipstick on a pig trap. House flips represent about 15% of home sales in San Jose. Many flippers are inexperienced, hire unlicensed contractors, and do a poor job. They put lipstick on a pig, focusing on cosmetic upgrades to hide the underlying structural or mechanical defects. Hidden defects: 40% of flipped homes have at least one major defect. Professional inspections find issues in about 85% of flipped homes. Repair costs for bad flips can be $25,000 to $100,000. If you see shoddy cosmetic work, uneven baseboards, or poor paint jobs, you can guarantee they cut corners on the things you can't see. Be sure to check that permits were pulled and that licensed workers were used. Mistake number 17, condos or townhomes with high HOA fees. Proportionality and reserves. While high fees can be normal for a high-value property, they must be proportional. A $300,000 condo with a $300 month fee is a lot. Higher fees in older buildings often mean there's high maintenance and the HOA is collecting reserves for future renovations. The threat of special assessment, HOAs, limit what you can and cannot do. Critically, you don't know when they are going to raise the fees or ask you for a large sum of money through a special assessment. Review the HOA's reserve assessment and the percent funded to gain insight into potential due increases. Old homes look romantic on Zillow, right? But behind that charm could be pipes filled with lead and wires ready to spark. Mistake number 18, buying homes over a century old, 100 plus years. The plumbing and electrical time bomb. While older homes have charm and craftsmanship, they carry massive financial risk. Lead pipes. These homes often had lead pipes, and replacing all the plumbing can cost tens of thousands of dollars. Old wiring. They may have knob and tube wiring. If the wiring insulation is more than 70 years old, pre-1960s, it is a potential fire hazard and must be replaced. Asbestos. Asbestos was used to insulate hot water pipes and was found in old floor tiles. Proper legal removal requires a true environmental professional and is extremely expensive. Mistake number 19, over-the-top custom or poorly designed homes. The ugly house rule. Don't buy an ugly house. It will always be an ugly house unless you are really good at decorating. You can sell a cute, pretty house, but you can't really sell an ugly, gnarly-looking thing. Limiting your buyer pool. An awkward layout or a home with an over-the-top custom feature, like a huge built-in fish tank, a secret hideaway room, or highly ornate mahogany custom kitchen cabinetry, will appeal to a very small group of buyers. If you get bored of that feature, removing it and repairing the space can cost more than you plan. Don't expect the next person to love a costly, highly customized kitchen as much as you do. It will hurt your resale value. And finally, the classic rookie move. Buying the nicest house in the worst area. Sounds smart until you try to sell it. Mistake number 20, buying the most expensive house, overbuilt in an undervalued area. The ceiling effect. If you buy the most expensive property in a D neighborhood or an undervalued area, you are the most expensive house in that area. You won't cash flow, and you need another dummy to buy the property at that overinflated price when you sell it. Loss of value. If you take a fixer-upper in an undervalued area and spend a lot of money making it the nicest home, you will be overvalued for the area. You will lose money on the resale because the surrounding neighborhood cannot support that high valuation. Stick to properties that offer cash flow and good appreciation potential in the B and C neighborhoods. Conclusion, and that's it. The 20 biggest mistakes that can quietly drain your savings and turn your California dream home into a financial nightmare. I know this list sounds intense, but it's not meant to scare you. It's meant to protect you. Real estate isn't just about finding a house. It's about making smart, informed decisions that protect your future. Because here's the truth. When you buy a house, you're not just buying walls and windows. You're buying its hidden history, its problems, and its potential. If this video helped you see things differently, share it with a friend who's thinking about buying in California. You might just save them from a six-figure mistake. Now I want to hear from you. What's the biggest mistake you've seen buyers make? Drop it in the comments. Your story might help someone else. And if you found value here, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell, because our next video could save you even more. Thanks for watching. Stay smart, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next one.